Appears that you are projecting your own trauma and your personal experiences onto this case instead of looking at it for what exactly it is. Riddle me this. Who's the other female cast member that's accusing him of sexual assault? Because that would have been blowing up all over my timeline. I'll wait. If you actually listened with the intent to understand instead of projecting your feelings, you would have heard me say, anything can be perceived as sexual harassment. No one is not disputing that. Impact versus intent. I've said this in multiple videos, that it's not about the sexual harassment, because when the complaint was filed prior to the actor strike, it was resolved. Why is it being brought up again if it was resolved? Cast members not wanting to do PR with him or sit in the same room, or they unfollowed him on social media, don't mean a goddamn thing to me. It don't mean shit. You know who I really want to hear from? I want to hear their testimony. It's the crew. I want to hear from the cameraman, because there's multiple cameramen on a set. I want to hear from the grip. I want to hear from the assistants. I want to hear from the different coordinators. Have you ever paid attention to the end movie credits? In regards to who's doing what and when, I want to hear from the makeup artists. Because if all of the things happened, considering that in her complaint that was filed, it was not a closed set during the intimacy scenes, that means that people were coming and going, which raises a whole bunch of other questions that I've mentioned before. So I want to hear the testimonies of the crew and the staff that worked behind the scenes that was there. See, no one is not discounting that sexual harassment took place. Anything could be deemed as sexual harassment. Me calling you fat can be deemed as sexual harassment. But the fact that she filed a complaint in California and the filming took place in New York, that raises questions. But just because a person is a quote-unquote victim, and that's a problem with a lot of you ladies, y'all want to take on the mantle and the personality of being a victim and thinking that is going to absolve you from any type of accountability and responsibility. Asking questions in regards to the slander of another person does not mean that I don't support. And just because you're a victim doesn't mean that I have to blindly support you. I am not obligated to support any woman just because she claims to be a victim. Something that TikTok has taught me over the last 4 years and some change.